DRDO AIP system. A normal diesel electric submarine has to surface every few days to recharge its batteries. But AIP or air independent propulsion can change that significantly. Today we will talk about DRDO's indigenous AIP system and how it can make the Indian Navy's submarines stealthier and more lethal. Conventional diesel electric submarines are generally quieter than nuclear submarines while they operating on batteries because they produce very little machinery noise. They are also smaller, more agile and highly effective in coastal and littoral defenses. However, they have one major weakness. Once their batteries are depleted, they must either snorkel or surface to run their diesel engines and recharge. During this time, they are the most vulnerable and the most easiest to detect by enemy aircraft, ships, and satellites. This is exactly where air independent propulsion or AIP comes in. An AIP system allows a conventional submarine to generate electricity underwater without surfacing to run its diesel engine. As a result, the submarine can remain submerged for much longer, greatly reducing the chances of being detected. Another major advantage is that many AIP systems can be retrofitted into existing submarines by inserting an additional hull section. India's indigenous AIP is planned to be integrated into the Calvary class submarines during their scheduled refits. How does India's AIP compare? Different countries have developed different AIP technologies. Germany uses the proton exchange membrane or PEM fuel cells. Sweden uses the Stirling engine. France developed the MESMA steam turbine system. China is believed to operate a mix of Stirling engine and newer fuel cell based AIP systems on different submarine variants. India has developed a phosphoric acid fuel cell or PAFC based AIP system. Each of these technologies has its own advantages and trade offs. And there is no single best AIP system. The DRDO AIP, the Indian Navy currently operates 6 Calvary class Scorpene submarines. DRDO's AIP, developed by the Naval Materials Research Laboratory, uses phosphoric acid fuel cell or PAFC technology. Unlike a conventional engine, a fuel cell converts chemical energy directly into electricity through an electrochemical reaction between hydrogen and oxygen. Since there is no combustion, the system significantly quieter than a diesel engine, making it ideal for submarine operations. Several fuel cell technologies exist around the world, including alkaline fuel cells, proton exchange membrane fuel cells, direct methanol fuel cells, and phosphoric acid fuel cells. DRDO selected the PAFC technology because it offers good reliability, greater tolerance to fuel impurities, and is well suited for long duration submarine operations. Inside the fuel cell, phosphoric acid acts as the electrolyte, allowing hydrogen and oxygen to react and produce electricity. The only major byproducts are water and heat. PFC systems also operate at relatively high temperatures. This waste heat can be recovered for onboard requirements, improving the overall efficiency of the system. Development timeline of the journey of India's indigenous AIP has taken more than a decade. Research and development began during the early 2010s at the DRDO's Naval Materials Research Laboratory. In October 2019, the land-based prototype successfully demonstrated its operation in the presence of the Chief of Naval Staff. In March 2021, the system successfully completed endurance and maximum power validation trials, marking a major milestone in the program. The technology has since progressed towards marinization, where the system is being adapted for installation inside submarines. The first planned integration is expected during the refit of INS Khanderi, where an additional hull section will be inserted into the submarine for the AIP module. Following harbor and sea trials, the technology is expected to be progressively introduced across the Calvary class fleet during future refits. The AIP system will greatly improve the flexibility and operation capability of the Indian Navy. Thank you for watching my video.